close your eyes and think of the 1970s. Chances are, a melody from the Carpenters floats into your mind. Close to you, We've Only Just Begun, Rainy Days and Mondays. Karen Carpenter's voice was the sound of comfort, warmth, and effortless perfection. She was the girl next door with a golden throat, selling millions of records and becoming one of the most beloved figures in American music. Her smile was as radiant as her voice, a symbol of the wholesome, optimistic spirit of the era. But behind the harmony, behind the fame, and behind that captivating smile, lay a silent, devastating battle that would ultimately claim her life, leaving a legacy far more complex than the sunny songs she sang. This is the story of Karen Carpenter and the secret struggle that defined her final years. Born in New Haven, Connecticut in 1950, Karen Ann Carpenter showed musical promise from a young age, primarily as a talented drummer. It was her brother Richard who first recognized the extraordinary quality of her singing voice. Their journey wasn't an overnight sensation. They honed their craft, played countless gigs, and eventually landed a record deal in 1969. Their unique blend of pop struck a chord. Close to You hit #1 in 1970, catapulting them into superstardom. The Carpenters became synonymous with wholesome American pop, a clean-cut alternative to the rock and roll excesses of the era. Yet, even as the accolades poured in and the records flew off the shelves, the seeds of her struggle were already being sown. The music industry of the 1970s was relentless. Constant touring, recording, and the immense pressure to maintain a certain image took its toll. For Karen, the focus on her appearance began subtly, but grew into an obsession. Early in their career, a critic reportedly referred to her as Richard's chubby little sister.
Karen had an hourglass figure, broad shoulders and thin waist, and kind of the old hourglass figure. And of course, with the thin is in thing that started in the 70s, it became a little more fashionable, a little more in to kind of be like this. But there was nothing she could have done about that. Now, what takes one person from just losing a few pounds to obsessive dieting? That's the mystery, and I don't know. I really don't.
As the decade wore on, the demands for perfection intensified. Karen, seeking control in an uncontrollable environment, found it in restricting her food intake. What started as a desire to fit an ideal gradually spiraled into the grips of anorexia nervosa, a disorder barely understood at the time. Her weight began to drop, visibly noticeable to those close to her, but often dismissed or downplayed by the public. Anorexia nervosa is far more than just dieting. It's a severe mental illness. For Karen, the illness was insidious, a torment she largely kept hidden beneath her professional veneer. She would go to extreme lengths to conceal her lack of eating. Her family became increasingly alarmed, but medical understanding of eating disorders was tragically limited. There was little recognition of the psychological grip the disease held. The illness became a topic of uncomfortable public speculation, peaking in late 1981 during a high-profile television interview.
It's from anorexia nervosa, was that right?
No, I was just pooped.
But you
I
did
was
go
tired
down,
out.
You went down to about 6 stone in weight, I think, didn't you?
I have no idea what 6 stone in weight is.
That public intrusion was a cruel reflection of the lack of understanding surrounding her condition. The more people tried to intervene or confront her, the more isolated and secretive she often became.
She talked to me about some of the things that she did do and some of the things that she didn't do to pursue her anorexic body. She could not make herself throw up, so she chose to use syrup of ipecac, which I didn't know about at the time, or I might have tried it too, but it's highly dangerous. It deteriorates your internal organs, and I'm sure she didn't realize that, but part of the problem with any kind of obsessive, compulsive, or addictive behavior is you want your results and you're willing to pay whatever price you have to do to get them.
By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Karen's health was in severe decline. Her energy waned, her touring became impossible, and her voice, while still beautiful, showed signs of strain. She tried various treatments, including therapy and medical supervision. In one desperate attempt for normalcy, she married Thomas Burris in 1980, hoping a new chapter might help her heal. Her final years were marked by a desperate search for recovery. She sought treatment from Dr. Stephen Levenkron in New York, a leading eating disorder expert. While there were glimmers of hope, the physical toll on her body was immense. Her heart, under constant strain from malnourishment and the use of over-the-counter laxatives and emetics, was weakening.
Yeah, I'm sure it must have been terribly difficult when she passed on.
Yeah, it was a huge, nobody expected that at all. We knew there were things going on with her physically and mentally and medically, but I don't think any of us thought that was going to happen.
On February 4th, 1983, at the age of 32, Karen Carpenter collapsed at her parents' home. She was rushed to the hospital, but was tragically pronounced dead. The official cause: heart failure, brought on by complications related to anorexia nervosa. Her death sent shockwaves through the world. For many, it was the first time they truly understood the devastating reality of eating disorders. Karen's tragedy became a catalyst, forcing a national conversation about a hidden epidemic. She put a face to a disease that had long been shrouded in shame.
It was a shock to you, I know, and to the rest of the world as well, because people knew, you knew that Karen had anorexia, but everybody, I think, sort of assumed that she had conquered the problem. She felt that she was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And the heart failure was a surprise, a terrible surprise.
Oh, to us all. Yeah.
How does that work? Is it just the constant drain on the body of being thin for so many years that taxes the heart? Do you know how those
Well, I don't
fit?
think anyone really knows for sure, but many theories, of course, have been advanced, and the one that seems to hold the most water, so to speak, is that Karen had been dealing with a certain amount of weight for a certain amount of years. At the end of her therapy, Karen was hospitalized and 30 pounds were put on her, and that after so many years the heart was having a difficult time really dealing with that.
Yeah. Have you had correspondence with the families of other people who have anorexia?
Yeah, we of course have gotten many letters from people who feel that they have it or know.
Any words of wisdom?
Well, there's only so much my family and I can say. I mean, it's out of our bailiwick, of course, and we can only go with to seek a qualified therapist, and definitely with a medical. People believe at this point in time that it is but it does play hell with the body.
Yeah.
And so an MD and what have you should definitely be.
How's the rest of your fans of the album? Does it help for them to hear her voice? You've worked with
yes,
it. And
well, Mom and big fans, of course, and obviously it's been extremely rough on them, Karen's passing.
While her life was tragically cut short, Karen Carpenter's voice continues to soar. Her music remains timeless, cherished by generations. But her legacy extends beyond the melodies. She became an unintentional pioneer in public health, shining a much-needed light on a silent struggle. Karen's story reminds us that behind the brightest smiles and the most beautiful voices, there can be unseen battles. Karen Carpenter's journey was one of immense talent, unparalleled success, and profound sorrow. May her powerful voice continue to remind us of the importance of compassion, understanding, and the ongoing fight for mental and physical well-being. If you or someone you know is struggling with an eating disorder, please reach out for help. Resources are available in the description below.